Our house was separated from the river by a crescent-shaped parcel of 5 acres of wild, uncleared growth. It would have been an ordeal to push my way through it, except that the regular river patrons, dogs, deer, brothers, kept a narrow path beaten down through the treacherous sticker burrs that rose as high as my head and snatched at my hair and pinafore as I folded myself narrow to slide by. When I reached the river, I stripped down to my chemise, floating on my back with my shimmy gently billowing around me in the mild currents, luxuriating in the coolness of the water flowing around me. I was a river cloud, turning gently in the eddies. I looked up at the filmy bags of webworms high above me in the lush canopy of oaks bending over the river. The webworms seemed to mirror me, floating in their own balloons of gauze in the pale turquoise sky. That summer, all the men except for my grandfather, Walter Tate, cut their hair close and shaved off their thick beards and mustaches. They looked as naked as blind salamanders for the few days it took to get over the shock of their pale, weak chins. Strangely, grandfather felt no distress from the heat, even with his full white beard tumbling down his chest. He claimed it was because he was a man of regular and moderate habits, who never took whiskey before noon. His smelly old swallowtail coat was hopelessly outdated by then, but he wouldn't hear of parting with it. Despite regular spongings with benzene at the hands of our maid San Juana, the coat always kept its musty smell and strange color, which was neither black nor green. Grandfather lived under the same roof with us, but was something of a shadowy figure. He had long since turned over the running of the family business to his only son, my father, Alfred Tate, and spent his days engaged in experiments in his laboratory out back. The laboratory was just an old shed that had once been part of the slave quarters. When he wasn't in the laboratory, he was either out hunting specimens or holed up with his moldering books in a dim corner of the library where no one dared disturb him. I asked Mother if I could cut off my hair, which hung in a dense swelter all the way down my back. She said no. She wouldn't have me running about like a shorn savage. I found this manifestly unfair, to say nothing of hot. So I devised a plan. Every week I would cut off an inch of hair, just 1 stealthy inch, so that Mother wouldn't notice. She wouldn't notice because I would camouflage myself with good manners. When I took on the disguise of a polite young lady, I could often escape her closer scrutiny. She was unusually swamped by the constant demands of the household and the ceaseless uproar of my brothers. You wouldn't believe the amount of chaos and commotion 6 brothers could create. Plus, the heat aggravated her crippling sick headaches, and she had to resort to a big spoonful of Lydia Pinkham's vegetable compound, known to be the best blood purifier for women. That night I took a pair of embroidery scissors, and, with great exhilaration and a pounding heart, cut off the first inch. I looked at the soft haystack of hair cupped in my palm. I was striding forth to greet my future in the shiny new century, a few short months away. It seemed to me a great moment indeed. I slept poorly that night in fear of the morning. The next day I held my breath coming down the stairs to breakfast. The pecan flapjacks tasted like cardboard. And do you know what happened? Absolutely nothing. No one noticed in the slightest. I was mightily relieved, but also thought, well, isn't that just like this family? In fact, no one noticed anything until 4 weeks and 4 inches went by, and our cook, Viola, gave me a hard look one morning, but she didn't say a word. It was so hot that for the first time in history, Mother left the candles of the chandelier unlit at dinner time. She even let Harry and me skip our piano lessons for 2 weeks, which was just as well. Harry sweated on the keys so that they turned hazy along the pattern of the minuet in G. Nothing Mother or San Juana tried could bring the sheen back to the ivory. Besides, our music teacher, Miss Brown, was ancient, and her decrepit horse had to pull her gig 3 miles from Prairie Lee. They would both likely collapse on the trip and have to be put down. On consideration, not such a bad idea. Father, on learning that we would miss our lessons, said, "A good thing, too. A boy needs piano like a snake needs a hoop skirt." Mother didn't want to hear it. She wanted 17-year-old Harry, her oldest.